What is up, y'all? GoofyRhexxi here, and hope everybody is doing well. And welcome, guys, to week 9 of the weekly headliner update. And if you're new to the weekly headliner, what we talk about here is what is to come in the upcoming week in Marvel Strike Force. And we also recap some of the important topics from the previous week as well. And this week, we definitely have a lot to go through. Moonlight is landing on the scene this week with a Blitz Milestone event. We also got a big legendary event that's returning. We got some interesting changes that are going to be coming up in the next season for RTA, which some of them I definitely think are good, you know, I think for the player base and the player community. We also got a few Reminex Shake It and DD4 celebration activities going on as well this week. And of course, we got to talk about the Blitzes as well, you know, and so much more, guys, in this week's weekly headliner. And we're starting right now. Welcome back, guys. If it's your first time coming to the channel here and you would like to see some more Marvel Strike Force content, then consider hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the notification bell so that you will know when my videos also do go live. And if you also check down below in the description, there are a few links there. Link to my Discord where you can kind of just come and hang in my server. There's a lot of other Marvel Strike Force players there. Also, you can catch me live on Twitch. I stream weekly. You know, though my schedule is usually posted in my Discord. And if you actually click on that link, you'll also see my schedule there as well. And a few other links to my social media platforms, my Facebook and also my Twitter page as well. But guys, let's dive into this, man. So the first thing I actually wanted to discuss here are the Blitzes for this week, because that's going to start tonight, right? So the first Blitz is actually going to be Psylocke. She's going to be up this week. So we're in celebration of women, right? Women's celebration, a Women's Month, or, you know, celebration here. So we had Sif last week, right? That was a part of it as well. And this week we have Psylocke right now, you know, as one of the characters. And I personally like Psylocke. I think she's even more valuable now on that Uncanny X-Men team because Beast is now a part of that X-Men team, right? So I find her utility to be very good. The evades, the counters, you know, clearing buffs, you know, off your team. And it's kind of cool. She clears it and then she puts it on particularly one character. It's actually really cool to look at, when, especially if you have things like bleeds and heal blocks and stuff like that. Just watching her strip those off your team and putting it on one character is pretty dope. You know, also she's able to even strip positive effects, you know, off a character on the enemy team too. So I think she's very good. I think for earlier players also, she's an option that you can use, you know, for unlocking Magneto. So if you're kind of struggling, you know, maybe to get some of those other characters, maybe Sabretooth in the raid store, you know, Psylocke does give you another option. So grab these shards for her, guys. And she's also has a node to in Cosmic 3/6. So just to give, that's just a quick pointer for some of the earlier players here. But yes, very good utility character on that team. I like her a lot, especially like when she gives evade to your X-Men characters when they drop below 50%. So I think that for me, that makes her very, very, very valuable. Now, the next character on this list that we're going to be doing a Blitz for, this is part of the Dark Dimension 4 celebration, is going to be Minerva. And my God, am I happy about the fact that Minerva is not going to be available in Blitz. So she's obviously in the War Store, right? And that's where she exclusively is, because she's not anywhere else in the game right now. So she used to be in the premium orbs at a 2% drop rate, and they moved her to the War Store, you know, so that she can be farmed there with your war credits. But they never put her in any other orb, like the basic orb, you know, or the mega orb. They never put her in any other orb, which is strange to me. So this is really, I think, going to be a Blitz where a lot of players are definitely going to be gunning after Minerva. It probably won't hurt much that, you know, most likely there's going to be a Blitz Milestone event starting probably around the time when the Minerva Blitz is also going live as well. So, you know, a lot of late game players too, I will say, probably already have Minerva at 7 stars, you know, so maybe the numbers will not be as high as I'm probably processing in my head. But either way, obviously a great character. You know, she's a Dark Dimension queen. She does very, very well there. And it's also helpful, you know, for your U7 raids too, you know, if you're looking for some options there. But yeah, look, in terms of numbers, man, this is what I'm kind of thinking that we're looking at. So this is probably where we're going to be for Psylocke, right? You know, I would even say probably less than this, because, you know, Sif, I could understand a lot of players going for more, because Sif obviously unlocks the legendary Black Bolt. You need Black Bolt for Ebony Maw. So I could even see why Sif numbers, you know, could definitely probably be higher than Psylocke's numbers. You know, if the Blitz Milestone event that we're going to be talking about next, you know, is coinciding or starting at the same time when Psylocke's Blitz is, then that could change predictions a little bit, but hopefully we'll be able to find out a little bit more about that before that actually happens tonight. And a thing for Minerva, I would say she's probably going to be anywhere between these were the numbers for stature, and probably anywhere, I would say, between stature and also between bishop. That's what I'm thinking that numbers are going to land, right? So 48, 38, 24, 11, 9. These are Bishop's numbers, and then we looked at Stature's blitz prediction numbers, and this is kind of where they were. So that's what I'm thinking. I don't know, because like I said, we don't know when the Blitz milestone is going to start for Moon Knight, which we're going to talk about soon. So that's kind of where we're at. Next on the list for me here is the Ebony Maw legendary event. So that is also going to be coming around this week too. So, well, actually tonight. That's going to be starting tonight, and it says one day and 4 hours for me. I'm pre-recording this, so yeah. I mean, Ebony Maw, obviously a phenomenal legendary in Marvel Strike Force, a great character, very very plug and play. You can use in a lot of different areas for arena, for war. Obviously Black Order team, he's phenomenal. You need Ebony Maw, in order for Thanos to become empowered. I don't know if I feel like this event probably landed a little bit too early. I don't want to talk about it because we talked about it enough, but you might end up a little short here. I would say, there are a couple of offers that will be in the store if you're willing to spend. You can probably try. I would probably stay away from the ones, the 19 or the 24.99 orb offer. Like, those typically tend to be bad because you can't pick and select which character you get. If you're like one character away and you're 50 shards away and you're willing to spend, and maybe the $30 offer might be valuable for you, for you to be able to get Ebony Maw. And honestly, because of the caliber of character that Ebony Maw is, I wouldn't blame you, if you decide to, spend some money there to be able to get him, because hey, this is the last character that you need for your Black Order team, right? So listen, man, I mean, it is what it is, right? They also have the double drops going on right now too. So, you may be able to benefit from that. Also, I personally have him at 6 stars. I'm 50 shards away from getting him to 7. Karnak is 50 shards away. So unfortunately, I won't be able to get him to 7 stars at this time. And I'm not willing to spend the money on him because I already have him unlocked. If it was to get an unlock, maybe I would consider it, but I just think that the $30 is just very steep for $50 shards. But like I said, if you're willing to do it, I would understand, just because of what Ebony Maw could do for your particular roster. All right, y'all. So this is one that I'm actually really excited about, and it is Moon Knight. So Moon Knight's event is going to be this week, and they're going to be releasing them here through a Blitz milestone. So if you're not familiar with what a Blitz milestone release is, it's not your typical Blitz. So yes, you do have to Blitz a lot, or if you want to get a lot of shards, and but there are definitely a lot of ways to sort of navigate, or there's definitely a lot of options that they give you, to be able to obtain shards. So I tend to like this better because you're not competing with other players, in order for you to get, those character shards, right? Because in blitzing, you have to, for me, I'm more mid to early late game, so I can only get probably 26 million in Blitz. I can't get nearly close to anywhere near 40 million, so I'm going to be missing out some shards, right? So with the Blitz milestones, typically if you complete all of the milestones, or you were to complete most of the milestones here, you're essentially going to be able to get a 4-star character, and be able to get a 4-star character with some change. And the most recent one was the Red Guardian milestone. I think right before that, we also, well, not right before, but before that, we also had Anti-Venom as well. So I'm actually looking forward to this a lot, just for that particular reason. But here it is, the New Moon coming in for a lunar landing is the New Moon event, where you can make your roster shine by recruiting Moon Knight and earning big rewards. You don't want to miss out on the Shadowland Vessel of Vengeance. So here's how you can rock this event. So we talked about the Eternal Night Orb here, where you're going to, based on the event milestones, you're going to be able to open the Eternal Night Orb. You're going to be able to earn gold, gear, and shards for selected characters with the Nocturnal trait. So not only will it have Moon Knight shards, but you'll also have other characters with the Nocturnal trait. Now, we don't know what the Nocturnal trait is yet, because it's not live in the game, or at least right now when I'm recording the video, it's not live in the game at the moment. And of course, with Moon Knight being at the higher drop rate. So they usually break this down into 3 different milestones. This is usually the individual one, the first one, right? This is going to be the Crescent Crescendo milestone, enact vengeance in Blitz in Arena using characters with the Nocturnal trait in this daily milestone. Score points by winning in Blitz and participating in Arena. So typically we see, a lot of players just use their Nocturnal characters in Arena, and they pretty much basically just go in and lose matches. That's kind of going to be hard for a lot of players who are trying to push for like that top 20, top 1. Right now I'm trying to stay in the top 100. So losing a matchup, I might not go this route too much. I might split it up. Like maybe I'll lose 2 matchups with, Nocturnal, and then I'll probably still, Arena harder, regular, with 3. Sorry about that. That was my daughter. With 3 sort of, just do 3 regular Arena matches to kind of get those things going. But yeah, to earn Moon Knight shards and get those Eternal Orb fragments so that you can open up, obviously, those Eternal Night Orbs. But yes, filter your roster when the Nocturnal trait is live in the game, just so you can see who you are going to have available to do that. The next portion of it is the Midnight Madness milestone. Team up with your alliance and raids using Nocturnal trait characters to earn Moon Knight shards, Eternal Night Orb fragments, and gear, right? And then the new Moon milestone, score points by opening those orbs. So you're going to be getting points as well for opening up those orbs like regular. Like I said, I know for some of you veteran players, this is something that's not new, but for newer players, if you're just getting into this is kind of just what it is here. And that's kind of how it works. Now, this I thought was interesting. For a limited time, the ISO 8 campaign nodes will reward Eternal Night Orb fragments with 100% drop rate. I thought this was interesting. I don't know how many people, I know for a fact, I'm not refreshing ISO 8 campaigns, other than the free one that I get, every day. So this is going to be interesting. I don't know if I'm going to do this much, because obviously I'm spending some cores right now to get through the White Tiger event. So I might not want to spend any more extra cores just to refresh the ISO 8 campaigns. We'll see. Like I said, I think based on how this normally works, though, you're able to get a 4-star character. But like I said, I'm very excited for it. The team looks pretty good, so I'm excited to be able to get Moon Knight. I also pulled a 5 red star on them. I probably won't get that for a little while, but excited about in general just being able to unlock them. There's also a video on the page as well where you can kind of just take a look at some of the stuff, some of the features, for Moon Knight. Now, the next event here is going to be, or we're ending this season right now, season 3 of the Mojo Mayhem, which is our RTA, and they're going to be introducing some new changes here into our season 4. Now, I don't know if season 4 is going to start on Friday, because the last time we had one that ended on Friday, I think, right? I think we had one that ended on Friday, but the new one didn't start. I think they took about a week or so, which was for me kind of welcome, because I'm like, man, listen, I think we were just done blitzing, pretty hard, and I was sort of kind of ready, to kind of stop there. So yeah, I was pretty excited, to kind of have that little break and that little gap. But we don't know if that's going to be the same thing here for Mojo's Mayhem. So this is the next season. They're looking to make some changes. The biggest one is that, well, for me at least, is that it's always the character. The biggest one for me is always the character, but the other stuff mentioned down here is pretty huge too. But Scream is going to be the character featured for this event, and I'm looking to take Scream into Dark Dimension 4, so I'm excited about being able to get some more shards for her. I love Scream. Wish she had better health, but she's a very, very good damage dealer. She does a lot. I mean, I didn't think she does a really good deal of damage, in my opinion. Stripping buffs, like, I really like her, especially with that striker ISO. I really do like Scream. I know a lot of people also use the skirmisher ISO on her too, but yeah, I really tend to love Scream a lot. But they're going to be going more to a knockout focus base here, so an emphasis will be placed on daily knockouts while reducing objectives requiring specific characters and traits on a daily basis. However, you won't have to complete all the daily knockout objectives to earn all season 4 rewards. I thought it was pretty interesting that they mentioned that, because I guess they don't want to freak anybody out with the whole, putting more of an emphasis on knockouts. They didn't want to like freak anybody out to say, well, this is just going to be so much harder now. I guess that's the reason why they felt like they had to put that line in there. In general, though, I don't think anyone has to do all of their dailies, not just from a knockout perspective, but all of their dailies in order for them to actually complete all the objectives and the miles for the entire RTA season anyways. But like I said, thought it was interesting. I'm cool with knockouts. I actually think knockouts are a little bit better than the other sort of objectives, the abilities and stuff, you know, because it's PvP, man. I mean, I should be concerned about winning the matchup, not just trying to get abilities off. I think they should transition abilities to like another portion of the game, do other stuff, you know, like make other things count, like raids or arena, whatever, like make those things count. But PvP itself, you know, to get objectives off, it just it seems just counterproductive for what PvP actually should be. But they also need to fix matchmaking. If you're going to put more emphasis on knockouts, then definitely matchmaking is also something that they need to fix, which they are also aware of and they have talked about before. So I do think that they're aware of it. I do think that they will make some changes, you know, moving forward. Interesting also as well here is improve weekly objectives. We reconstructed the weekly objectives so that the trait requirements were more organized. Each weekly trait objective will contain one of the following: either hero or villain, either bio, mutant, mystic, skill, or tech, blaster, brawler, controller, protector, and support. So I actually do like this a little bit. I do think that it actually will work out a little bit better. No, obviously this is just for the weekly objectives. Now, I'm assuming this is not specifically pertaining to character. That's how I'm reading this, you know, and like I said, it's one of the following. So I think it kind of broadens a little bit of the options that you have available to you. You know, so I'm curious as to how that exactly is going to work. I'm a little concerned, I mean, about, well, Protector, they already made some adjustments to, because it's only 540 right now. I think they dropped that down a little bit. And, you know, Blaster, I think is difficult, somewhat difficult. Controller can be difficult when they ban certain characters like Zemo and Emma, which in fairness, they probably shouldn't be allowed all the time anyways. So it's kind of fair that they are banned at times. But sometimes it makes it a little difficult, you know, for controller. But I think Protector and Blaster can be a little complex, and support, I think too, can be challenging. No, actually, that's not true. Support is actually pretty decent too, because, you know, they're constantly healing themselves. You're able to get a lot of abilities off because they're not doing a bunch of damage. So actually I digress. Support is actually pretty cool. They also talk about how they've reduced the ability threshold for these weekly objectives from 600 to 550. And at first I was just like, bro, that's not even a lot. But then I was like, hold on, 600 times 3, 150. So yeah, it's 150 less, you know, abilities that I have to use. So I'll take it for now. They have addressed some things to RTA. We can't no longer say that they haven't talked about RTA. They've talked about RTA a little bit. They've made some adjustments here. I think that this is going to be something that they're going to probably want to continue to come back to and figure out how to make it even better. But I do like this. Like I said, I like that they've actually talked about making some changes there. And I do think that these changes seem so far to actually benefit the player community. Still fits matchmaking though, so that players who are earlier in RTA can at least have a chance, you know, at doing well in RTA. They also talk about reshuffling the reward structure of some of the existing rewards so that the same rewards wouldn't be earned at the same rating levels as previous seasons. So the way that I read this is they're probably going to reshuffle like some of that orange gear, right? So like they talked about making orange gear more available. My assumption is that they're probably going to make orange gear earlier in some earlier objectives, because right now I think the way that RTA is structured, if I'm remembering it right, is that you don't really get the like G14s and G15s, or maybe you get G15, but the G15s I know for a fact you don't get them until you get to like 50 or 54 or something like that. So if they're going to reshuffle it to where you're going to be able to get some of that stuff earlier, or maybe even the other orange gear, maybe getting some of that orange gear earlier, I think is a favorable move in my opinion, because yeah, I mean, not everybody's going to is going to have the time required, right, to get all the way through it. So I think that it would be nice, you know, a nice gesture of them to do that. So that's the way that I kind of read it, you know, with the statement. They also are going to be expanding the bands, you know, from 5 to 7 to increase. This increase will include 3 season-long character bands, which I don't know, man. That one hurts a little bit, but that's just more of a selfish personal thing, right? When I looked at who they're banning, Black Bolt, Emma Frost, Ebony Maw, like these characters are really good in RTA, so in PvP, and yeah, I think it's kind of fair in a sense, because if you're looking, once again, I'm thinking about it from a perspective of earlier players, for me, whatever, like I'll find a way to get through. But for earlier players, they don't have Black Bolt, they don't have Ebony Maw, they don't have, you know, Emma, unless they spent money, right, to be able to do it. So it kind of is tough that they have to face maybe some players that have these characters, you know, that, because think about it, right? Not everybody has a G14 Ebony Maw or a G14 Black Bolt. There's some who have a Gear Tier 10 Black Bolt, you know, and they're probably going to be pulling some of those matchups, you know, and that can be quite just a not good experience for some earlier players. So I do think that that's actually fine overall. We're assuming that you're probably going to see characters like Zemo on there too, right? Eventually, you know, as season-long bans, which I think is warranted because Zemo just wrecks an RTA. But that's as far as it is, you know, for PvP, for RTA, right? You know, that's pretty much basically all you do is PvP. I'm actually okay, you know, with a lot of these changes that they're making. I still think that they need to tweak it a little bit, like I said, with, you know, just making matchmaking a little bit better. And I thought about also, you know, keeping PvP fun. I think in general, I think they need to make it more, maybe balance it out with half and half, knockoff friendly, also objective, so that the fun of it, you know, stays there. And like I said, maybe also expanding some of the RTA objectives, you know, the battle pass objectives, so that it's also outside of just PvP too. I think would also be a nice little added change. A few other things to mention, they also is going to be a Proxima. So this is another one of those Dark Dimension 4 celebration, you know, Proxima 2-time drop. You know, obviously she's in Doom 2.9. I was actually talking with one of my mods, you know, about this on Friday, where, you know, for events like this, it would be nice if they made some of these characters like Proxima, if it's Taskmaster, like if you're going to give this as a reward, like a celebration reward, it would be nice if they like temporarily made them available in a node where everybody can, for the most part, get to, right? So that way it kind of really feels like a celebration. Even some earlier players, you know, could probably have an opportunity, or mid-game players, you know, could probably have an opportunity, because Doom is pretty much a very late game node, you know, so not everybody's gonna have an opportunity here to get the double drop on that. So I thought that was something interesting, you know, that me and my mom, you know, one of my mods were talking about here. And you know, the White Tiger event also is still active. They also mentioned, you know, mercenaries. So it looks like the Merc Mayhem event is going to be rolling back around. So, you know, there's going to be a double drop event rolling around for some of the mercenaries here. So take a look at that. Strike Time episode, that's going to be showing up at some point in time soon. Back in game, there is also Relica. That is also going to be on Friday, I believe this Friday as well. Double drops, I think we just had for, you know, those hand characters, or at least it should be coming in the game. So it's going to be Friday, well, Saturday if you're in the future. It's just going to be rolling around back then. But yeah, Relica is going to be coming. And if you remember in the blog post, they said that they are going to be doubling the non-first time rewards, you know, for those catalysts in that Relica. And so if you haven't built up your hand team, you need to, I definitely need to invest into your hand team just a little bit, just so that you can take advantage of getting those double drops. Also, raid season is changing. You know, we're going to be jumping into, we're in alpha right now. So we're going to be transitioning over into beta raids. So curious to see how that is going to look with the nocturnal trait. Very curious to see how that's going to work out here. But listen, guys, this is pretty much it for the weekly headliner update this week. Like I said, hopefully everything is hopefully we're on the up and up here in regards to things changing in the game and getting better and becoming a little bit more fun, hopefully, guys. But appreciate you guys much. Thank you guys for watching. Y'all be blessed and y'all be safe.